John Wechter.
All right, first of all, John, obviously there's a notable gap in your bio of 3 years, and obviously that might have something to do with you being a doctor. Can you talk about that? You know, what it's done with wrestling, how you had to train even though you weren't competing, and then to work on your doctorate, work in the hospital.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions. That's right, sir. The 3-year gap. You know, I came out to do my residency at University of Minnesota, and Dan Chandler said he coached me and stuff. And I went to a tournament my first year in residency, and I really wasn't probably trained as best I should. And I dislocated my shoulder, and it took me a few years to come back from that. But I still had to drop. You know, I still really love wrestling, competing, and so this year around October, I was asking home. I was like, "Man, when are you guys practicing?" He's like, "Every morning, 6:45." I was like, "Can you guys go at 6?" So I could get to my working time and stuff. So I have a really great group of guys out there. They all go in an hour earlier than they normally would, just so that I can work out with them and stuff. And just a great situation. Couldn't be more grateful to.
Were you afraid they'd forget you?
Who's that?
Well, them or anybody in this wrestling community?
You know, one thing I'm learning, I think, is for me, and maybe for everybody, it's a really big mental game. And for me, you know, the big thing for me is having a plan and sticking to my plan. And once I start thinking about all those things, like who knows about me, do people respect me, you know, that's when it gets bad. So I really haven't been thinking about that, and I trust God that, you know, if I'm doing everything I can do and I have a good plan, things are going to end up the way they should end up.
How does the surgeon have time to do that?
You know, I was talking to one of my teammates, Patrick Carey, and he was out in Colorado Springs and working 2 jobs, going to both of their practices. So we all have like a lot of different commitments. Everybody's got jobs. For me, happens to be residency, but you know, I can you know, make it work. I get up early, I go around to my patients. By 6, I'm done with all my inpatient stuff, and I can go work out 6 to 7, go back to the hospital, do my day's work, and then I have some great guys from Augsburg who practice with me in the afternoon, Glenn Jackson and Josh Kohler, and real good guys, and they come in whenever I need them to. They've really been helping me out.
In terms of getting back on the mat, you know, you came back out with the Minnesota Holly Cup, and then the Sun, Schultz, I believe.
Yeah.
And you know, how do you think your performance or your wrestling is compared to back in December when you got back on the mat actively competing?
You know, I started off in about October or November, and I came up with a game plan that I have that I can adjust a little bit for each person, but it's pretty much the same game plan, and I'm just sticking with it. So I think I'm getting better at it. But I think if you have an exact plan, you can build on it. But before I was just random. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do today. It's a bad way to wrestle. So,
John, at 33, most guys are retiring at this point. Yeah. It sounds like you're just almost starting again.
I don't know. As long as my body holds up, and the thing I'm finding is the more you train, the better your body holds up. You know. I look at TC Dancer. He made an Olympic team at 40 years old. So,
but the fact that you hadn't done it for a while, is your body just healthier for a 33 than normal guys would be?
I don't think so. We train hard. You know, every morning we go intense for an hour, and I think it keeps you in shape. And if you're in shape, you don't get hurt. You know. I mean, you look at these marathon runners, these bikers. They're 40. So I don't think your body just shuts down at 30. You know.
Mine did.
Nice job. Hey, thanks a lot.